We're going to get to this young man you see right here, Ethan Couch, leaving jail today after spending 2 years behind bars for a parole violation after killing 4 in a drunk driving crash. He made headlines as the Affluenza teen. His defense was that he was basically too privileged to know the difference between right and wrong. And now some of the victims' families are speaking out. Our senior national correspondent Matt Gutman has the story. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. You might remember that Ethan Couch was nicknamed the Affluenza teen because at his trial, the defense argued he'd been too spoiled, as you had mentioned, to know right from wrong. And it worked. The judge sentenced him to only probation, not a day in prison. But when he violated that probation, he got 2 years. He's expected to be released this morning, and some critics are calling it a grave injustice. After 720 days at this Texas lockup, Ethan Couch this morning set to walk free, but critics say he can't outrun the outrage triggered by his 2013 drunk driving escapade that left 4 dead.
We do believe it's a grave injustice to the victims and their families.
Brianna Mitchell was one of the 4 killed in his drunk driving crash. Her brother Joseph Vance struggles with Couch's release.
If you do wrong, your punishment is fit for what you did wrong. And it's not even close.
On Father's Day weekend, 2013, he piled 7 kids in his father's souped-up pickup truck, and police say hit 70 miles an hour down this lonely road, slamming into another car.
Oh, Lord, oh, yes, there's another child in the ditch. Oh, my God.
In his sensational trial, Couch's defense argued the then 16-year-old was too rich to know right from wrong. It's a so-called malady dubbed affluenza.
Affluenza.
Affluenza. Too rich for jail.
He was convicted, got 10 years probation, but not a single day in prison. And as if to prove his critics right, in December 2015, Couch and his mother disappeared. They were tracked down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where Ethan had been partying at this strip club. Extradited back to Texas.
You're not getting out of jail today.
The judge threw the book at Ethan for violating his parole by fleeing the country. Now, 2 years later, a chaplain at the jail says Couch has changed.
I think he has made clear to me that he needed time behind bars, just to really get him to the place of ownership.
And Ethan's attorneys tell us this morning he has accepted responsibility for what happened and felt true remorse. Now, while Ethan may have turned a corner, the court system says his mother, with whom he ran off to Mexico, has not. As he leaves jail, she's back in it for violating her probation by failing a drug test. As for Ethan, he'll be on strict probation until 2026. So you could say he'll be released from jail, but he won't exactly be free.
Okay,
George.
Matt, thanks very much. Let's get more from our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, on this right now. So you saw the victims' families obviously very, very upset with this, but in some ways the prosecutors did everything they could do.
Right. The prosecutors did everything they could do. Remember, the prosecutors wanted 20 years for this, and the judge ended up giving 10 years probation. Once that lenient sentence was issued, they've now done everything they can to enhance that sentence. So he gets probation, he flees to Mexico, he then gets punished for that until he's 19 because it's in juvenile court at that point. The minute it goes to adult court, there's something that allows them, as part of the probation, to add some sentence to it in adult court. They do that 180 days, but instead of just calling it one incident, 180 days, they called it 4 incidents for the 4 victims in this case, made it the maximum 720 days, and that's why he's getting released now, because it's that 2-year sentence in effect.
But is he then subject to the same restrictions if he violates his parole?
Oh, yeah, and he's got a really tough probation here in terms, and I'm not suggesting that that's enough, I'm just saying that his probation terms are very, very strict here with regard to any consumption of alcohol or drugs, even restrictions on how he drives, etc. If he violates any of those, he could face 10 years in prison for each violation, meaning 4 victims, 40 years in prison if he violates it.
So did the Affluenza defense work or not?
Look, the defense worked, right? A witness cited Affluenza and then regretted later having said it. I don't think that's why the judge issued this ruling. But there's no question that this was a lenient sentence. And now, amazingly, his mother facing more time than him for helping him flee to Mexico.
Starts today. Okay, Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.